full weekend ahead, and I hope you have something you're looking forward to this weekend. So today, what we're continuing on with is the story of creation. We're looking at the first thing that's created and the first thing blessed, and we're going to look at the creation side of it, which is really fascinating. Again, we're reading through this whole creation story and reading through it poetically about what does this have to do with our lives, like what's the meaning for us in our everyday Joe Bag of Donuts, Jane Bag of Donuts life and existence. So that's what we're going to do. So the line here is really short. This is from Genesis 1 verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. So this is that time where we first start to see something transcendent. That first time where all of a sudden there's just something just kind of lights us up, and we get like, oh, I get something, and there's something beyond my regular existence. We talked about yesterday the idea. It's such a beautiful image, right? The idea of a bird hovering over the water, and that's how it starts. That is a beautiful image. It's not sort of a big angry sort of Greek Zeus-like god. It's God hovering over the waters like a bird, and those that water is just our regular run-of-the-mill life. God hovering over it, gentle ripples going out. Somebody put a beautiful quote on there yesterday. Ripples not caused by wind or sea, just these ripples, right? And these ripples we start to feel our life like, oh yeah, there's a vibration there, there's ripples there, and then we see something of light. We see something that just really sort of like, oh wow, I hadn't ever thought of that before. And literally the light bulb goes on. Now light, important to remember with all things. I'm sure I'll repeat this many times. The enlightenment that God gives is always for the next step. It's not to see the whole picture at one time. I mean, maybe some people get that seeing the whole picture at one time, but I think for most of us, it's just enough light for the next step. What does that all mean? And what would be an example? So here'd be an example of something around light that I just loved. And this is from Martin Luther King. This is from his 10 rules for nonviolent resistance. And one of his rules, this is an exact quote. This is a paraphrase, but it talks about how we must desire reconciliation, not victory. Reconciliation, not victory. And I remember the first time I read that was as a pastor, probably 6, 7 years ago. Somebody shared it with me, and I thought, oh my goodness, like that though, that's it. Like that's a piece of light where all of a sudden, like the light can go on, where a room that is very dark all of a sudden gets some light to it. That's something where it's enough light to give us that next step. Like, what do I do next? Well, if I remember that it's about reconciliation, not victory, it's about being in relationship, not being right. Boy, the world starts to change in pretty dramatic ways. And that's where again we start to see that tie. We can start to make those ties between Old Testament and New Testament. Jesus talks about like that he is the light. I'm the way, the truth, and the light. And then Jesus also talks about the simple fact that our job is to be reconciled. It's something I preached on. Many people preach on. Probably many of you've heard many sermons on. Where Jesus says, "Look, you bring your gift to the altar. In other words, you go to church. If you realize you're not reconciled to your brother or your sister, leave the gift there. Go get reconciled first." Wow. That is big. That is really big. So today, folks, just words to live by. Allow these words to light up your life today. That your job today is reconciliation, not victory. Your job is to be in relationship, not to be right. Does that mean that we don't stand for things? This is Martin Luther King who said this, folks. So I think clearly a guy who stood for a few things in his life. So I think clearly it does have something around standing there. And it also has this bigger point is we make our stand, we remind people of the big picture, and we always remember that it's about reconciliation, not victory. So that's my thought for today. Hopefully that brings a little light into your day today, courtesy of Martin Luther King. and the wonderful teachings that Jesus leaves us all those centuries ago. So with that, folks, we're gonna now do just a little going into the weekend, coming out of the week, little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing, and yeah. So with that, friends, let's all just get a big breath and listen to the bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's take a look at any comments we might have today. And again, you can leave comments on New Church Live's Facebook page. It's where we read them off of. And I know we have people who show up on all kinds of different places, but that's where we read the comments from. So would love to hear how you're doing today. If you want to drop a little line there, and if you drop it somewhere else, I will get to it a little bit later in the day. All right, let's see what we have here. Martha writes, cold but sunny. It is the same here, my friend. Linda, good morning to you. Great to see you joining us. Sherry writes, have a great weekend. Stay warm. Amen. Amen to that. Susan writes, good morning. Thank you for this message today. It helps a lot. Yeah, Susan, it's just one of those ones like every year around Martin Luther King Day, I come back to that whole reconciliation, not victory thing. And it really is. I mean, that's refrigerator post-it worthy. It is such a great line. And Kim writes, good morning to everyone. So, folks, wishing all of you all the very best, whether you're joining us today, tomorrow, next week, whenever to watch this. Just please know that it is great to have you joining our little troop here, and just wishing you all the best and Godspeed on your journey through the day. Take care. Bye-bye.